Hi, it's Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review. Let's talk about 1965's Alphaville in its 4K edition. Part of being a real movie fan is finding one of those classics that everybody says you have to see that you have never seen, and you finally get to see it. Early in my life, everybody talked about Citizen Kane, and I had never seen Citizen Kane. And I remember I bought a special edition DVD, I think, so I could finally watch it. And I was blown away by how well that film was made. Had I seen this back then, I don't know if I would appreciate it as much as I do now, but Alphaville by Jean-Luc Godard is one of the greatest movies of the 60s, and one of his best films as well. He's got movies that are held in a higher regard, but this is kind of a French new wave, kind of techno-noir, dystopian science fiction film. Jean-Luc Godard directed it, also wrote it. Eddie Constantine, who was a pretty big star at the time, he did a lot of trench coat wearing movies, and he wears a trench coat in this one. Also stars Anna Karina, who's in the movie, and on the extras on the 4K, she's actually interviewed. Like I said, I've never seen this movie. It's been mentioned a lot, and I'll watch anything science fiction. And the most interesting thing about this movie is like the cinematography. They used no special props, futuristic sets, anything. They shot in real locations in Paris, just against like modernist glass and concrete buildings. Made sure that all the architecture looked kind of futuristic. But the events mentioned in the film firmly placed at the 20th century. The main character describes himself at one point as a Guadalcanal veteran. But he's a secret agent who's been sent to this... It's interesting because they just drive in a regular car, but they get there across the universe. Anyway, this is a planet. Alphaville is ruled by a computer. And it's a technocratic dictatorship. And it's interesting how they do it. Like, none of this comes out like The Matrix or 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a whole different ballgame. If you're just watching this, like this came on Sunday afternoon and you had it on in the background, you just think it was like a 40s, 50s film noir detective story. But it's science. The stuff they're talking about, the fact that this robot voice comes every once in a while and tells them what to do, what they should be doing, what not to do, it's interestingly done. I don't think I've ever seen a movie quite like it. And I really had to go over the extras and go back through the film to really fully get to what he was doing here. Because the first time it's just like, I'm not sure I'm getting all this, but it's really interesting and really beautiful. The 4K from Kino Lorber is... It's 1.33 to 1. It's got the bars on the side, so it's a square picture. It's black and white, but it has been totally restored in 4K. It's got HDR on it. It looked fantastic for a black and white film. It is in incredible shape. I believe it is a mono soundtrack, a 2-channel mono soundtrack, which was fine for the entire film. The movie has decent subtitles. All in all, I was pretty impressed with the film. It's a mystery, so I don't want to go too much into it. I've already told you too much that there's, it's kind of a dystopian science fiction, technocratic, run by a computer city. So I don't want to get into spoilers. I think the acting is all on par. I think some things we have to go, oh. I think it was ahead of its time in a lot of ways. I think some of the things he had to say was way ahead of their time. Movie came out in 1965. Did okay, but in the long run is considered one of Jean-Luc Godard's better films. I finally saw Alphaville. It's now in my collection. The extras, we do some interviews. We do some, not really behind-the-scenes stuff, but kind of talking about how the movie has stood the test of time and all that. And I did find it interesting. I wouldn't say you have to run right out and see it. Maybe watch it for free, stream it or something before you run right out. But if you're a fan of French films, if you're a fan of older films, black and white films, this is a really interesting film, really well done. Normal cars, normal streets, normal everything, but it's a futuristic science fiction film. Really interestingly well done with some of the costumes, with some of the things that are said. That's where you kind of key into what they're really talking about. And I found it quite interesting, a little bit enlightening and kind of important to watch these days. It really is about AI kind of taking over. In 1965, they didn't even have home computers at the time. So anyway, Alphaville. It's available from Kino Lorber. It's on 4K disc. It's quite spectacular. It also has a Blu-ray along with it. They're region-free if you want to pick it up. I think it looks fantastic, and it's one of those movies that a true movie fan should probably have in their collection. Actually, there's several of his movies, and I plan to get to them eventually. I've got a lot of things on the way. Some pre-orders are finally shipping and things like that. Today, my new Disney edition of Tron in 4K has arrived, so I'll be watching that this weekend to review. I also I'm going to do something interesting I've never done before and compare an original movie and the remake. Suspiria is a very famous Italian horror film. You're probably familiar with it. But a few years ago, there was a remake, and I've never seen the remake. I have new 4K copies of both films. I'm going to watch them back to back and see how much I like them. That and a few other things are on the way, so I can't wait to share it with you. But anyway, so please like, share, and subscribe is very important so don't miss anything. Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. Thank you for listening and have a spectacular day.